Alcohol disposal during Prohibition. Back in 1929, when alcohol was banned in America, something remarkable happened in Detroit. Law enforcement officers raided illegal alcohol makers and poured their findings right out of a store's window into the street. Despite such dramatic enforcement efforts, secret bars called speakeasies popped up everywhere, and bootleggers kept the illegal alcohol flowing as public demand remained strong. The vanished colonists at Roanoke. This picture holds a lot that the naked eye cannot see. The story begins on July 22nd, 1587, when John White arrived at Roanoke Island with 120 hopeful settlers. When supplies started running low, White made what seemed like a routine trip back to England. But his return 3 years later revealed one of history's most confusing mysteries. Every single person had disappeared without a trace. The only clues left behind were two strange words: Croatoan, carved on a wooden fence, and crow etched into a tree. White thought the settlers might have moved to nearby Croatoan Island, now called Hatteras Island. But bad weather stopped him from checking. Some documents hint that Chief Powhatan might have killed the settlers, but archaeologists haven't found any proof. A monster off the coast of Hook Island. In 1965, something strange caught photographer Robert Le Serrec's eye near Hook Island in Australia. Like Scotland's famous Loch Ness monster, this mysterious creature appeared in photographs that continue to spark debates among animal experts today. While many people online say the photo must be fake, there's an interesting twist. The picture was taken long before anyone could use computer programs to edit photos. The Hessdalen Valley Lights. High in Norway's Hessdalen Valley, something magical has been happening since 1981. Strange, glowing objects regularly appear in the night sky, captured beautifully in 30-second exposure photographs. When scientists studied these mysterious lights, they found they contained silicon, iron, and scandium. Even today, researchers scratch their heads trying to figure out what these lights are and if they could be a new type of energy source. The Black Knight Mystery. In 1960, something unexpected showed up in Earth's orbit. Scientists at NASA nicknamed it the Black Knight, and it's been playing hide-and-seek with our satellites ever since. While some people think it's just space junk, others believe it might be an alien satellite keeping tabs on Earth. Though most scientists say it's artificial in origin, the mystery continues to intrigue space enthusiasts. Sir Goddard's squadron ghost. Here's an interesting story from World War I. In a group photo of Sir Goddard's squadron, something unusual appeared, an extra face peeking out behind the fourth soldier from the left. What makes this truly confusing is that the face belongs to Freddie Jackson, who had died just 2 days before. Even more strange, they took this photo on the very day of Jackson's funeral. The Moon's Hidden Pyramids. During the Apollo 17 mission in December 1972, astronauts took countless photos of the Moon's surface. One photo, initially dismissed as too bright, showed something remarkable: two triangle-shaped structures that looked just like Egypt's famous pyramids. This discovery makes us wonder about ancient civilizations and possible connections between Earth and the Moon. The Mysterious Spaceman. In 1964, Jim Templeton wanted to take a nice photo of his 5-year-old daughter in the countryside. When he got the pictures developed, he found something shocking: what looked like someone wearing a silver spacesuit standing in the background. The weird thing is that Templeton's family swears nobody else was there when they took the photo. Even the police and experts from Kodak couldn't explain who this spacesuited figure could be. Television goggles pioneer. In 1963, an inventor named Hugo Gernsback showed off something that seemed straight out of science fiction: television goggles. He modeled them for Life magazine, giving us an early peek at what would eventually become today's virtual reality headsets. While these chunky goggles might look funny to us now, they were actually way ahead of their time. Marketing genius. During the winter of 1936, a clever Danish clothing store owner came up with an unusual way to sell coats. He hung more than 1,000 overcoats on scaffolding all around his store, creating quite a spectacle. So many people came to see this strange sight that the police had to help manage the crowds. His crazy idea worked perfectly. He sold every single coat. The gas mask dog. In 1917, during World War I, even dogs needed protection from dangerous gases used in battle. This photo shows a French Red Cross dog wearing its own special gas mask. These brave dogs weren't just pets. They had important jobs delivering messages and helping find wounded soldiers on the battlefield. Ancient Mongolian punishment. A disturbing photo from 1913 shows a Mongolian woman confined in a wooden box as punishment. It's one of many examples of the cruel punishments people faced in ancient and medieval times when human rights weren't taken seriously. This picture reminds us how far we've come in treating people humanely. The human taxi service. In the 1960s, Istanbul, the nightlife included something unexpected: human taxis. Bars hired strong people to carry drunk customers home in large baskets. This creative solution kept partygoers safe when they couldn't walk straight. It became a common sight to see people being carried through busy streets in woven baskets. The adventurous pet owner. On November 16, 1942, Miss Beth Pitt turned heads in New York City by taking her unusual pet for a walk, a baby deer. Earlier that day, she had to pay a $2 fine because her deer had been wandering freely in Central Park. While we might think it's strange now, wealthy people back then often kept exotic pets, from deer to kangaroos. The daring picnics. In the 1920s, families did something that seems unthinkable today. They had picnics right next to live alligators at the California Alligator Farm. The farm had several ponds with trained alligators, and people actually felt safe enough to eat their sandwiches nearby. The farm stayed popular until people started caring more about protecting wildlife. The human aircraft detector. During World War II, before modern radar existed, people had to listen to enemy planes using huge ear-shaped devices called acoustic locators. These giant metal ears helped them hear aircraft from far away. It's fascinating to think about how people managed without computers and modern technology. Tasks that we can do with a simple machine today required dedicated workers and bizarre-looking equipment back then. The kangaroo boxers. In the late 1800s and early 1900s, one of the strangest sports you could watch was kangaroo boxing. Both clowns and professional boxers would step into the ring with these powerful marsupials, entertaining crowds across Europe and the United States. A photo from a 1924 match in Berlin shows just how weird entertainment could be. Thankfully, this practice eventually stopped when people realized it wasn't fair to the animals. A child being shipped by mail. In the 1910s, before strict postal regulations existed, some parents actually mailed their children through the U.S. Postal Service's parcel post. They paid postage for their kids, and conductors made sure the children arrived safely at their destination. The only requirements were that the child couldn't weigh more than 11 pounds and needed proper postage stamps. This bizarre practice lasted only 2 years before authorities put a stop to it. Babushka lady. On November 22, 1963, American President John Kennedy was assassinated in Dallas. Among the many mysteries surrounding this event is a woman holding a camera, nicknamed Babushka Lady, for her headscarf resembling that of a Russian grandmother. Despite efforts by special services, her identity remains unknown. Who was she? And why did she disappear from the public eye? No one knows. Tankman. During the 1989 Tiananmen Square protest in Beijing, an unknown young man stood in front of a column of tanks for half an hour, blocking their way with his body. Known as Tankman, his identity and fate remain unknown. Some believe he was executed, while others think he is still alive. This photograph has become an iconic symbol of the Tiananmen Square events and one of the most famous images of the 20th century. And with that last photo, we have come to the end of the video. If you enjoyed it, be sure to hit the subscribe button for more awesome videos just like this one. This has been Timeless Photos. Thanks for watching.